Welcome to another Better Place Australia podcast. What do you do when a health issue affects the amount of hours you can work, which in turn makes it impossible to pay off your home loan? Christine is the Financial Counselling Team Leader for Better Place Australia and Financial First Aid, and she shares how she assisted someone in this situation. So Christine, who are we talking about with this case study?
Hey, this is a senior worker, a senior person who's been working, aged 65, but has come to us because they've got some mortgage arrears because, again, health is now impacting their ability to work. They worked in a role where they were on their feet a lot.
Right.
And now they've got some osteoarthritis and some other issues which was affecting their mobility, so not able to do the job, not as many hours, can still do the task, but just not as many hours. So income is reduced.
Right.
Age 65 and with a mortgage arrears. Not massive arrears, but enough to worry about.
Are you able to share a roundabout figure of what we're talking about that was owed?
Yes, it was about 7,000 in arrears.
What were the steps that you put in place?
Well, this one was pretty simple to fix, and this is probably a bit of an opportunity for people to understand their superannuation a little better. In that this person, age 65, but still technically working, is still able to access, or is now able to access, their superannuation, despite the fact that they're still working. At age 65, that's the trigger age where you can access your superannuation balance, even if you are still working.
So how did you work it through with the super?
So well, it was just about educating the client, actually, that she thought, I'm working, I can't access my super until I'm 67. And I said, no, the rules say that you can access your super at 65, even if you are still working. So she was like, oh, I didn't have any idea I could do that. So her next phone call was to the super fund to get the money to pay the arrears. And she had been stressing about this for ages. And she even told me that she had not told her children how difficult this situation was for her. She hadn't even told her aging parents what the situation was. She had gone through Christmas, New Year with all of this stress about the arrears. Are we going to lose the house?
Yeah.
Because I think she had tried to contact her super fund to discuss it. But they had said to her, oh, you're working, you can't get it under financial hardship. And this is where words matter. She had spoken about financial hardship. And so the person she was speaking to was thinking those words. But it turns out that age 65, you can access it. Don't need financial hardship. You are allowed to access it.
Gosh, that would have to have been the simplest fix you've had, would you say?
It was wonderful. And in fact, what I did was I rang her back a few hours later just to check that she had been successful, and she had. Her super fund had helped her, given her the form, she'd filled it in, and now she was waiting for that transfer of funds, which would be, a few business days. But, yep, that was her problem immediately solved.
Do you think that many people are unaware of that issue with superannuation?
I think most people are not friends with their super fund, and that's one of my all-time goals, is to ensure people do understand what a lifesaver superannuation is and what their options are around super, because of insurances as well. There's heaps of benefits with super.
I'm sure she was absolutely delighted to have learnt that.
She was just like, she said, this has just been the best phone call. She said, you have given me so much relief. It's like, my pleasure.
Does that make you feel good? Is that it's like such a for-purpose job, isn't it?
Yes. Oh, look, it is. It is. People work hard. They go through life, their ups and downs. And I think if you can give someone just a bit of knowledge that makes their life so much easier, then, yeah, that's a brilliant part of the job.
Great. That's Christine, Financial Counselling Team Leader for Better Place Australia and Financial First Aid. You can access free financial counselling from Better Place Australia if you live in a funded area in Melbourne or Geelong. Now, there's a long list of suburbs that applies to, so to find out if you live in a funded area, visit the Better Place Australia website or the Financial First Aid website and do a search for funded areas. Financial First Aid is an initiative of Better Place Australia.